What's up? I'm the Empathetic Chicken, and I just wanted to capture this message before it leaves. So, basically, I just want to say that we gotta show up anyway. Like, even if your head tells you that you have nothing, like, worthy to share, or you find some way to, like, talk yourself out of, like, sharing what you know, you should anyway. Or no shoulds. You can anyway. Because I've been really quiet lately. Because I've been, like, conflicted, which is not new for me, as far as, like, being perceived as an authority. And I feel like I need to explain some things, like, as far as, like, a little backstory, so you know what I'm talking about, because I don't know, it could just be confusing if you don't know what I'm talking about, or, like, a little bit of the background. So, I mean, I went to therapy school, I have a marriage and family therapy degree, but I was always, like, conflicted when it came to being, like, the authority in, like, the clients' lives or whatever. When people would come to me for therapy, I didn't want to be seen as, like, you know, the typical therapists that, you know, you see in movies and all that, where, like, they just give, like, even, this is a side note, but, like, I was talking to a coworker the other day, and, like, a lot of people, pretty much, that I've talked to about being a therapist, they kind of just say, like, they think of it as, like, someone who gives advice. And I'm sure, like, that some do. But, like, the training that I had, the focus wasn't on, like, giving advice. It was mostly just, like, listening and putting the client, and I say the word client, I don't really like that word either, but I mean, you know what I'm saying. The people that come for therapy, like, I lost my thought. Putting the client as, like, the authority over themselves and, like, their lives. But I just felt conflicted being in a position of, like, the hierarchy, like, someone coming to me in what felt like a way of, like, them being less than, like, me knowing the answer to their problems, like, solving the issue or whatever. And I have my own views about that too, perceiving people as, like, being flawed or whatever. But anyway, it was an issue for me, and I was just, like, denying my ability to show up because I didn't want to be perceived as, like, in the words of my teacher, she was like, you're like a doctor who refuses to help someone because you're scared that they're gonna think you're telling them how to live their lives. Which is kind of how I felt. I was like, I don't want to be perceived as an expert or like I know the answer to anyone's problems. And it took me, like, a while to be okay with that. I'm still not. It's the way I was thinking of it. But it's just because I know, you know, the most widespread view of or at least that I've been exposed to, like, of therapists, is that they're, like, these higher up people who just have this knowledge about, like, what helps people. And I don't know, like, even at my internship, I was doing an internship at a horse therapy, kind of like horse riding therapy thing with special needs. And, like, one of the co-workers there would always be like, oh, you can therapize me or something. Like, talking about I could tell her, like, what was wrong and how to fix it and all that. And I'm like, it's not like that. Like, I'm just here because I can handle feelings, really. Like, I don't know the answers. I can listen and I can find out information and I can, like, help you think about stuff in a different way with my own perspective. Like, two heads are better than one. Like, you know. So anyway, I feel like I just went on a long tangent just to say that, like, I've been silent for a while because I'm in the process of creating another Oracle deck. It's basically like made. I have a little mock-up version. You might have seen it. But like it's basically done. I'm just like stalling because it's not completely because I'm lazy or because I don't want to do it. It's just like I keep having this little dilemma with myself because I don't want to be perceived as like knowing the answers or like telling people how to live or saying like, oh, it's simple, just do this. Like I feel like a lot of it is tied into like the culture that we live in the West, like with a little capitalism, and everybody's just got like the solution, like buy this and you'll be cured, or like, you know, it kind of like ties in all that being like a business or whatever, like because I understand I'm providing like a service and like well, I mean, I do have readings that is a service, but like a product or whatever that is kind of like, it feels like a solution in a sense. But I mean, I don't think of it in that way of like, here's something that can solve all your problems and you need this to be complete. Like, that's not my angle. It's more so like I want to share from my own point of view, like things that I've learned in my life that might be helpful to somebody else. Like, I feel like we can never really like help other people fully anyways. Like they have to help themselves. But maybe like sharing something similar, like, and like by someone else knowing that they're not the only one, like that in itself can be like, you know, a comfort to people. So, I mean, I do make things because I want other people to enjoy them or like be helped by them. But I'm never coming at it from the angle of like, you need this. So instead, I just tell myself, like, what's the point? Why bother? Like, you don't want to tell anybody what to do, so maybe you shouldn't make this deck, and maybe you shouldn't show up, and maybe you should stop saying should, and just let yourself freaking be you, and share what you know, because someone else might want to know what you know. And that doesn't mean that other people can't share. Like, it's not... It's like, it's all tied together. Oh my god. It's just like, I don't know, like, it's all this like little hierarchy deal with the way that we're kind of taught. It's just like someone else always knows like the answer, and we don't, even though we know us better than anybody else could. So it's just like we put trust like outside of ourselves a lot more than we have to. So yeah, a lot of it is like me learning to like channel my trust back into myself. And so it's like I am the authority on myself and my experiences, but I'm not the authority on anyone else. But that doesn't mean that I can't like show up and share what I know, and like, you know, it's alright to show up and like share. I don't understand why I do this to myself, or I do, but I just felt like I feel like I'm going in circles, but I just felt like I needed to say this for anybody else who might be like questioning, like, even what's the point in showing up. But I think we still can. Like, you can have permission to be you, and you're valid even if you're different and you don't see your experiences reflected out there. Like, you're still here, and like that means that you're valid. Like, I don't know, because I just had this my little session, and we were talking a lot about like, I forget what she asked me, but it was like, when did you start to like feel like you were not okay showing up or whatever? And then I just went in explaining how, like, without going into everything, and just like other people like outside of me questioned me so much that I started to question myself. So like I was just placing the emphasis on, like I was saying, like the trust outside of myself when I never had to. I mean, it wasn't my fault. Like I grew up, I was shaped that way. I didn't know any better. But now that I know, it's just kind of like all me now to like not do that anymore because it only hurts me. So, just popping in to say that it's all right to be you and to like share your little piece of existence with others. It doesn't mean that you're telling anybody how to live, and I'm mostly talking to you, self. Like I'm talking to you here. It's like you're thinking of it in a completely different way than probably anybody else is. So stop making up reasons to not be okay with how you're showing up. All right. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've been wanting to make a video about a similar thing, but I just couldn't find like the words. But I feel like maybe I captured it and all that. But yeah, I think we all have something to share, and you just never know what hearing what you have to say might do for somebody else. And even if it doesn't, like, who cares? Just do it for you. Like, if it makes you feel better to like open up and make art or like do whatever you like to do, then do it. Like, you don't have to put all these like limits on yourself, like me. I'm catching them though. I'm gonna get better. I'm freeing myself now. It's about time. So yeah, I think I said everything I needed to say. I hope everybody's hanging in there. I'm doing what I can do. I'm gonna get some sleep soon because I'm a little tired. So yeah, thanks for listening. Hopefully there was something here you needed to hear, or not even needed to hear, that you... See, I'm doing it already. That's an example. I'm sitting here like thinking, oh my god, they're gonna think that I'm telling them they needed to hear that. This is what my brain does. Nah. Whatever. Hopefully you enjoyed whatever are my rambles, and I'll be back again when I feel like I need to say something or want to say something. Take it or leave it. Alright. Bye.